I see that nobody's in here right now, and I know it's kind of late, so I'm trying to keep my voice down as much as possible. But I wanted to come on here and talk for a little bit, get a little bit of YouTube therapy, is what I call it, and express some things on my mind. Um, as you can see from the title, I titled this video called Healing Wounds. Why did I title this video Healing Wounds? Well, I'm going to tell you. I learned two things. I learned how to be at peace, and I learned to let peace be still. Whew. When I say I had a rude awakening earlier, I did. But it taught me a very valuable lesson. And I just want to give a quick shout out. Shout out to Miss Yo. Thank you, Miss Yo, for giving me some great advice and some great pep talk. Haven't still talked to my sister yet. Still waiting on that call back. By the way, I did what you told me to tell you, but I haven't got a call back. She said she was cooking, and she said she would call back. But as you can tell, it's almost 11 o'clock on my time. At the time I called her, it was like 8 o'clock on her time. Hours have passed. So I'm assuming maybe she's busy with her kids. I don't know. But anyway, the reason I say peace, be still, and let it go at peace, or let it be, let go and let God. Sometimes you don't want to poke the bear. What am I talking about? Well, I'm going to give you the short version. So I had a typical, good day at work. I'm feeling a little bit better. As y'all know, my best friend recently passed away about a month ago. I missed the funeral and everything. I explained it and everything. How I found out was through Facebook. It was devastating. However, I sought some healing. I sought lots of therapy. I'm currently going through grief counseling with my therapist, who happens to be a Black woman. Very good woman. But when I say let go and let God and leave motherfuckers alone, this is what I'm talking about. So after I met the in-laws or whatever, I decided to take it upon myself to get some closure, what I thought was closure, by visiting my best friend's hometown, where she come from in Virginia. Very tiny town, real small, way out in the boonies. And I decided to say hello and send my condolences to her grandmother. Now, I've never met her grandmother personally, but I decided to be nice and, stop by and introduce myself, let her know that I used to work with her granddaughter. We're very good friends, very close, like sisters and everything. And I didn't want to come in and intrude, by the way, but she invited me in her home. And I only sat with that woman for like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. It was broad daylight, early in the day. I want to say like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then when her maintenance man came, I left. I thought nothing of it because, I was in pain. I was hurting. I wasn't thinking. Soon as I left, earlier today, this is a few days after that visit I did on Sunday when I took a drive to the country, I had the most longest, disturbing essay of a DM in my Instagram. And they came from the other granddaughters who I've never met. Again, I only knew my friend personally. I didn't really know the cousins or nobody else. I only met the other side of the family after, the funeral and stuff, because I sent them flowers and stuff out of respect since I missed the funeral, because my friend was cremated. She wasn't buried, so I couldn't give her a proper goodbye, if you call it. So anyway, knowing all this information now, the other granddaughters took it upon themselves to basically say they 2 cents off their chest. And, they were polite about it, but they got gangster. And they're like, we understand, we thank you for reaching out. We understand this is a trying time, blase, blase, sending condolences, but it's strange, you know, to pop up uninvited, of course, at someone else's place. And they, you know, politely asked to refrain from visiting other family members, you know, out of respect for the family since they don't know me that well, because, you know, I'm a stranger to them. So anyway, I said, okay. And I explained, you know, I apologize. I, you know, wasn't rude. And they weren't that rude, but they were just very animated about it. And one of them was like, please do not ever do that again. And I was just like, okay, I understand. And I clearly see that this is really upsetting to you because you don't know me very well. But I said, it's very painful to me because I'm grieving as well, because she was like a sister to me. I said, what you don't understand is that we were more than work friends. We knew each other on a really deeper level. She took care of me when I had surgery at the VA hospital earlier this year, and she was the only one by my bedside. And we hung out on several occasions. So it wasn't like, oh, I just met this lady and I just met her family out of the blue, and I've only known her for like a year or 6 months. No, I've known her since pandemic time frame. Yeah, known her for a while. But again, to each his own. I wasn't even upset because I understand where they're coming from. You got a 90-something-year-old grandmother in the sticks, small town. She lives alone. And they're being territorial. They were just trying to protect the grandmother. And I had a long talk with my YouTube mentor about it, and she gave me some good advice about it. And I said my goodbyes. I was a very good friend to my friend. I paid my respects. I sent flowers. The end. But just know that not everybody is going to be accepting of you. And this is a clear example, especially if they don't really know you. I understand that. Because, you know, people think the worst. They probably thought I was trying to scam grandma or, you know, harm her or whatever. But I'm just like, I just simply said hello, introduced myself, and said goodbye and left. But at the time, I wasn't in my right mind. I was just trying to, again, gain closure because I missed everything. And it just really boggled my mind that I truly didn't get to say goodbye to my friend. It bothered me. I struggle with it a lot. Still, to this day, I struggle with it. Because one, she was my only friend here in Virginia that was the closest to me, like a sister, that I've been knowing since 2019. Okay, I've been knowing her for several years. Two, the only one that cared enough to actually check on me was her. I'm very estranged from my own family. I'm very isolated from them because I'm like the black sheep. But what I will say is that because of this situation, and because of the long talk I've had for several of my friends and mentors earlier tonight, I decided to be the bigger person and take a stab in the dark by reaching out to my own family who really don't fuck with me or talk to me like that. And I actually contacted my sister earlier tonight. And the reason is because my mentor mentioned that I won't be able to sit right with myself, God forbid, if something were to happen to my sister, her soon-to-be husband, or any of her children, like what happened to my friend, her passing away out of the blue in her sleep. So I said, you know what, you're right. I should be the bigger person because recently, in case you missed it, my sister blocked me on Facebook. Why? I don't know. Did I say anything bad about her? No. Did I intentionally try to do anything bad or post anything bad about my sister? No. I never talk about any of them people back home. I never mention any of their names, nothing. So I couldn't think for the life of me, out of all the things in the world, why would you block your own blood relative for no reason at all? Then on top of that, what I thought was extremely strange is that she didn't even tell me happy birthday this year. Normally, my sister is pretty good about that. She'll text me, happy birthday, sis, or she'll say it on Facebook, but not this year. This year was a different response. It was kind of weird. So I said, you know what? Um, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to be the bigger person and I'm going to see what her problem is with me because it bothered me for a long time. And I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and reach out just to see if she'll answer the phone. And when she answered the phone, I said, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm all right. I'm cooking right now. Let me call you back. Doesn't call back. Probably then ate herself into a damn hobble and passed out. If not, washed her ass and laid down and said, fuck me, and ain't called back. But again, I can't think of one single thing what would cause my sister to block me out of the blue and not talk to me. Again, I never mention any of them. I never talk bad about them. I don't badmouth my family as much as isolated and as estranged as we are. I don't say shit about them. I don't even talk about them on here. This is like the first time you're hearing this. What I will say, what was so funny is that as soon as my sister hung up, my dad called me. I said, what he want? He don't call me. So I was like, hello? He was like, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm all right. What's up? What's going on? Because you don't never call. I let him know flat out, you never call. What's going on? Because it's something. You either want something or you want a favor. And I called it. He wanted a favor. And you know what it was? He was like, hey, I might have a part-time job for you. Oh, yeah? What's that? Well, me and your brother are doing a bid for a plumbing contract because he does plumbing business and septic tanking and stuff. And he said we might have a contract soon up in Maryland, but it's not set in stone. And we just need somebody to go down out there on occasion at least once a month to check on the site, make sure they're doing their job. I said, you want me to drive damn near 3 hours, because Maryland is not close at all. That's 3 hours from here, from Virginia, to check on a septic site that you don't even have, that you have no guarantee of getting, and do that. Yeah. I said, well, Dad, I said, right now is a bad time. Honestly, I don't think I would be able to do that. No shade. I have a lot going on. As you can tell, I lost my best friend recently. I am currently grieving. On top of grieving, I work full time on my day job. My side jobs, of course, are Uber and Lyft, which I don't mind doing already on the weekends. And then on top of that, I said I'm studying real estate. I'm in real estate school. I have a lot on my plate right now. I'm working on getting my realtor's license. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, you would know if you call me and you talk to me and ask me how I'm doing and what's going on, because you haven't heard from me so long. But no, you don't even do that. Do I get mad? No, I don't get mad anymore. I used to. But now I've let peace be still, and I let go, and I let God. Because at the end of the day, I have no control over grown-ass people. I don't worry myself to death over people that don't talk to me. I don't stress myself out over nonsense. If you talk to me, you talk to me. You'll pick up the phone and call me if you have my number. If you don't talk to me, fine. You don't talk to me. Because at the end of the day, I don't force relationships. But again, I did an attempt to heal a very isolated relationship between me and my sister, because I thought about, my best friend's passing, and I was just like, the family is fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. The whole family back home is all fucked up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's sick. I don't know who died. I don't know nothing. Because why? No one tells me nothing. Again, I'm the last to know anything. Seriously. I'll give you an example. So about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, in the middle of the night, I want to say around 10 o'clock, my dad took it upon himself to send me a picture of him and one of my aunties, who's in her 80s, sitting inside of a church. And on the caption of that picture, he says, me and your Aunt Lynn at your Aunt Reen's funeral, who happens to be another sister of his that recently passed. And he explained to me she passed because she was sick. And she was up in age. She was like in her 80s. I understand that. People come and go, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you don't tell me, if I don't know, then how am I supposed to feel? If you tell me shit like this at the last minute at 10 o'clock at night when I'm damn near asleep, and then I wake up to a picture saying that you're at another aunt's funeral without telling me, how am I supposed to feel? Now, was I close to this aunt? No. Did I talk to her? I never did. I saw her once when I was a kid. I was like 10 years old back in the 90s. And ever since then, she's been in and out the nursing homes the last time I checked. And she was in bad shape, from what I was told. But it would have been comforting to know that if he'd pick up the phone and talk to me one-on-one and said, hey, this is the situation, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. But nobody wants to pick up the phone. Nobody wants to talk. Everybody is too caught up in this business of technology. Instead of talking on the phone like grown-ass people about dire situations like this, you would rather send me a photo and a text, or you would rather send me a Facebook or DM. And it's pretty sad. I think that, especially with Black families, we are highly dysfunctional and we are too comfortable just casually saying who passed away in a text message and who died and who got sick and who's on their deathbed at the last minute when it's too late to say goodbye. This is what I'm talking about. Now again, I can't help it that everybody is estranged. Everybody is isolated as fuck. I'm so serious, it's not even funny. And I'm gonna tell you, the only people that told me happy birthday this year, through text message, by the way, were my parents, and then by Facebook, my brother. Nobody else said shit. Not even my sister-in-law, who's married to my brother. But yeah, prime example, dysfunctional families who do not communicate well. There's no communication. There's lack of respect. And the fact that my dad knows that I recently was grieving and had the audacity to ask me if I wanted a part-time job for his own personal gain, that made me feel some type of way. I said, nigga, when I reached out to you about a few weeks ago to heal because of my best friend that recently passed, the only motherfucker I knew in this state that was like a sister to me. And I asked you to stay with me for the weekend because I had idle thoughts going on in my mind. I wasn't in my right mind. And I said, I need you to come be with me if you can. This motherfucker turns around and says, well, baby, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. You know, the last minute flights is expensive, blah, blah, blah. And you know, the government shut down. They got shortage of air traffic controllers. I said, save it. Just stop. Because at the end of the day, all you had to say was you didn't want to come. All you had to do is say no. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. I just know that I won't fucking ask you to do shit else when I'm in a time of need, when I need somebody to talk to, when I'm in pain and I need someone to hold me. I won't call you. Just know that if you need something, don't expect me to answer and jump up and hop on a flight and help you with shit, because I'm not doing it. Especially if it's for your business or your own personal gain. No, I'm not doing it. Because I'm like this. I'm at the point of no return. I am solo and probably going to be solo until the day I die. Literally. And I'm to the point where I'm just like, you know what? If it's not about my health, if it's not about my job, if it's not about positive affirmations, trying to keep my spirits lifted, if it's nothing about any of those three things I named off, I don't want to hear shit. Because at this point, I am too grown to be worrying about other grown-ass people and what they're thinking. I don't even care what people think of me. I don't care, because I know people talk shit about me. I know people talk shit behind my back. It happens. Everyone talks shit. But when it's your own family, and you're seeking some type of moral or emotional support because you went through something so traumatic. You're suffering from a loss of a very close friend, and nobody, and I mean nobody, tried to attempt to check on me. That hurt. Oh, that hurt a lot. And they knew. It wasn't like nobody knew. Because I called and I cried my eyes out. And even with crying my eyes out, it did not convince my dad to do anything. So, yeah, it's going to be a little different around here. Holidays are not going to be the same. The very last time I saw my people was last year. I saw them on Thanksgiving. It was very fake. The energy was fake. The only person that was very real at that dinner table was probably my future brother-in-law. And it's only because we're on the same page. He is Hispanic. He's originally from Mexico. He has a green card. And he probably feels like I feel. He probably feels like the black sheep. He probably feels left out. I wouldn't be surprised. Because nobody talks to him either. So me and him understand each other. He would be the only one at that table asking me about my personal life. How's my job? Do I have any gigs recently with acting? Blase, blase, and so forth. But everybody else at that motherfucking table didn't have 2 cents or 2 shits to say about anything about me. No one asked me how my job was. Nobody asked me about acting, nothing. They had no interest of talking about anything whatsoever. All they do is sit around the table, watch football, eat till they drop, and fall asleep. That's all they do. But yeah, it's pretty sad. It really bothers me that I don't have anyone, and I mean nobody, in my immediate family that I can just pick up the phone and talk to on a deeper personal level like this. And this is why I talk to you guys on YouTube. I know there's only 3 of y'all in the chat watching this video, but do I care? No, because at least I know somebody will watch this video and listen to what the hell I have to say. Because at the end of the day, we're not getting any younger, and I put my pride to the side, and I put my grudges to the side with anybody I had, because this has taught me a very life-fulfilling lesson about life and death and healing wounds. I learned that life is short. You never know when your time is going to come. I also learned that peace be still, and let go and let God. And if you cannot mend or fix a relationship, leave them be. Let them stay where they are and leave them behind in the dust. I learned that the hard way. I sure did. And at this point, after getting fussed at by my best friend's cousins, who again, I've never met, over the whole grandma visit, I am not answering my phone for none of them motherfuckers unless the husband side of the family contacts me, which I doubt they will. I'm not saying shit to nobody, because I don't know what was said behind closed doors. I don't know if they're in cahoots with each other, if they banding together, plotting on me or something, but I'm not trying to find out, because I'm not trying to stir the pot, and I'm not trying to catch any heat from either side of the family, okay? Because again, I had 2 different reactions. Husband side of the family, loving black family, welcomed me with open arms when I dropped off them flowers the other week. Her side of the family, whoo, no, hell no. Crazy, batshit crazy. Yeah, learned something completely new. But yeah, all I got to say is that you can pick your battles and you can pick your poison, but you cannot, and I mean you cannot, pick your family. Nope. Because at the end of the day, we all have to go sometime. This is the way I look at it. I look at it like this. You know, when God is going to call you home, when it's your time to go, Just know that if you were a good person, if you did the best that you could, can't nobody take that away from you. Can't nobody say shit about you. And that's why I say let peace be still and let go and let God. Because at the end of the day, we all have one life to live, and we have to keep ourselves uplifted no matter what the situation is. I learned that if I stay focused, if I keep myself busy, as I continue to go through tons, and I mean tons, of professional grief counseling and therapy with my therapist, then I'll be all right. I'm just very thankful, and I mean thankful, for the group of friends I've met through work. I'm very, very grateful for that, because I don't talk to none of the locals here outside of work. I have very similar background with my coworker friends. They have very similar backgrounds. We all come from military life. And I think that's why we mesh and why we click so well. And this is why I don't mess with the locals here. The locals are different. Majority of them are probably potheads. A lot of them are college students, because this is a college town. I want to say there's about 250,000 people in this city. And out of all 250,000 people, I only talk to 5 people on a daily basis. And those 5 people are the motherfuckers I work with. That's it. I don't talk to nobody outside of work. Because I'm like this, no new friends. None at all. Because the world is crazy. People are weird. People are different. And you honestly don't know what people's intentions are. If they're good intentions or if they're bad intentions. And I'm not saying this goes for every city and this goes for every person. All I'm saying is that this goes for me. I personally don't care to mesh with some of these locals out here, because I don't know their background, I don't know their history, I don't know nothing. The reason why I mesh with my coworker friends, again, we have similar backgrounds, everybody is clean, no records. And I'm gonna tell you why there's no records, because I work for the government. That's why. And the government don't play. Because Uncle Sam checks that rooter to the tutor from front to back. And if you ain't got a clearance, baby, I'm not talking to you. Nope. I only talk to people who have been cleared to work in high spaces like me. But anyway, it's just hard as an adult, I'll be honest. You know, adulting, as I look at it over the years, it sucks. You know, besides the stress from bills, the stress from, you know, health and stuff, it gets harder when I think about it. Y'all know I just turned 38 this year, right? On November the 1st. Well, the more I get older, the more wiser I tend to be, the more I think about life. And what am I talking about? Well, let me tell you. I think about all the wrongs I may have done in my life and all the things I've done right. And I think about all the ways that I can fix things and all the things that I could try to heal, like with my family, for example. But again, if other people don't want to heal themselves, they don't want to fix the relationship, I leave them alone. At least I know I tried. And I look at it this way. I've done a lot of good things in my life, in my opinion. I've been a very good friend to my friend that recently passed away. And I believe that I've accomplished a lot in life, you know, even though it doesn't feel like it to me. Sometimes I feel like I've let myself down because of my progress in life. But now when I look back on it, the littlest things that I would have never thought that were really big, you know, changes, and they're exciting to other people, it shocked me. Because like whenever I'm on Uber or whenever I'm doing Lyft and I talk to some of the customers in my car, they all say the same exact thing. Girl, you are brave. I said, why do you say I'm brave? Girl, you literally moved your ass cross country from Texas to Virginia, and you did it all by yourself with nobody here, and you just said, fuck it, you're just starting over, and you are living the dream. That's what people tell me in my car. I had one lady tell me that you're doing all the right things. I said, what do you mean? She was like, well, you don't let nobody, predict your life. You don't let nobody control your future. You're in control. You're independent, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're young, and you got your shit together. And it's very hard to come by around here. I said, really? She was like, yeah. She said, it's not too often that you see young black women, especially minority women, packing up their whole entire life, leaving it behind, no family, nothing, and going to a whole nother state and starting over with no one over there that they know. And I said, you know what, you're absolutely right. Now I look back at it, I didn't think it was a big deal. But a lot of people were very invested in my story when I shared my relocation journey and starting over here and, getting new friends and stuff like that through work. People are very excited about that. I was shocked. In my opinion, I'm just like the average Joe. I'm just a lowly old contractor who works a nice little office job, with the military people. And I just live my life. I work a 9 to 5, I have a couple of side hustles, and I live life. That's it. I have lived a very boring but yet peaceful life. That's one thing I will say. I don't have any drama in my home. I live alone. I control everything. And I guess that is another way of freedom, I guess you could say, or liberation. I'm very liberated here, I guess. I've always been solo though, my whole entire life. I've never had anybody, live with me. I've always been alone. And I've been single for quite some time. Am I looking to date? Maybe. But am I focusing on dating? No. The answer is no. I am focused on me. I am focused on healing. I am focused on getting other things that I would like to accomplish in my life. And I feel that I have accomplished majority of the things that I've done in my life, but I'm not satisfied. No. Now, people ask me all the time with acting, for example, do you ever desire to become famous and be in Hollywood and all this other shit? And I tell them, no, I have no desire to be the face on a billboard or to be super uber famous. I don't care about fame. Why? Because fame is like a drug. I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people don't realize that Hollywood can be good and it can be bad at the same time. Hollywood is like an addictive drug. I've noticed a lot of celebrities are so addicted to fame, they lose themselves into fame. It's pretty sad. And if they don't lose themselves into fame, they lose their families behind it. And then they get very lonely, they get very depressed, and this is why suicide rates are up. I try to warn people, it's not what you think. Trust me, I've never made it to Hollywood, nor do I have a desire to make it to Hollywood. I'm just trying to live my life the best I can and survive. That's all I'm trying to do. Would I like to be in a motion picture film that's actually featured in a movie theater? Hell yeah, I would. Would I like to be in a TV series? Hell yeah, I would, because I have a passion for the arts. I'm a very creative person. I love the arts. I love movies, and I love TV series, especially dramas. And I think that if I did something like a Lifetime drama or some shit, or just even a comedy, I would be satisfied just to see that I have some credits that actually made it to an actual platform somewhere, whether if it's streaming in a theater or whether it's streaming on an app somewhere like Hulu or HBO Max or Netflix or Stars. One thing I will say though, my most proudest 5 seconds of fame was Tubi. If you have not seen it, there's a movie on Tubi called Distinguished Robbers. I was an extra, and no, you won't see my face, but my name is in the credits. My little 5 seconds of fame was the bank robbery heist. That one little scene with the camera swaying back and forth that you can barely see. You have to like kind of freeze frame it, and then you see me bending down in a leopard print t-shirt. That's me. But yeah, that's the one thing I can say my proudest moment was when I had my very first, well, actually, this wasn't my first extra role. This was like my third extra role. Now I think about it, that was actually sent to a major platform like Tubi. Now, my very first role as an extra, I think that went to like YouTube, but it didn't stay on there long. It was just a short film. Short films are okay, but they're not the most popular things that people look at. It's kind of like independent films. Independent films are not the most popular things, but depending on who's in it and depending on how much recognition it gets, like with awards and stuff like that, and Sundance film festivals and stuff, then yeah, it might blow up and it might go to other platforms. It just depends. But I actually did a TV series a while back too. When I first started getting into acting, I did a TV series as an extra on a show called Bounty. I heard that production is finally rolling out, and I heard that they're gonna release Bounty hopefully, I want to say sometime next spring, maybe towards the end of fall. I'm not sure. I have to check with my movie buddy and ask him. But yeah, he's also in the TV show as well. Now, I'm not sure if you'll see my face in that series, but I was sitting among, I want to say, 8 or 9 other people in that one episode I was in. And they took lots of camera angles of my face. So you might see me there. I don't know. We'll see. Because the bad part is about being an extra, no matter how long you're on set, majority of the times they don't even use the footage that they have of you. They'll just cut it out and chop it up and use what they have to make it fit the narrative if they don't like it. Now, if you have a speaking role, like you're a day player, which is like kind of like another entry level to like an acting role with actual lines, or if you're like a lead role, the main character, the main motherfucker in the damn show, then yeah, you gonna be on the TV. You gonna be everywhere. But if you're not a day player, you're not a supporting role, or you're not a lead role, then yeah, they may not see your face, unfortunately. And the shitty part though, what I will say about extra work, majority of the extras don't get paid. A lot of those roles are unpaid as fuck. They make you sit on set all day long, and the form of payment, quote unquote, that they do give an extra is a pizza party. Yeah, I actually went to a set. Matter of fact, the Tubi movie set that I did in Dallas a few years ago, they gave us pizza and sodas, 2-liter sodas and pizza as a form of payment for the extras. Now, for the people that actually did the cheap ass Tubi movie, they got paid. The main characters, they were cash apping people. I saw people getting like $300 and $400 and $500 checks, but that was it. They didn't get paid much for that shit. They just got a few extra dollars to star in a little low budget movie that went on Tubi. Meanwhile, every extra role I've done, I starred alongside some of the most popular actors that you've probably heard of. Majority of them are Tubi actors, unfortunately. But don't sleep on Tubi. Tubi is blowing up. People be laughing about them Tubi actors and them cheap ass low budget movies, but they be blowing the fuck up. I'll give you an example. My boy, Montreal Diggs, I don't know if y'all know that name. Google him if you don't know who I'm talking about. He's actually blowing up the Hollywood scene right now. He's done so many Tubi movies, it's not even funny. Now, has he done any major motion picture movies in a theater? I don't think he has. But he's a an up and coming Dallas actor who has literally done major heavy projects. I'm talking about like projects under Tyler Perry. This man has done that show called Sisters by Tyler Perry, and I believe he was on another show. I want to say Zatima, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's done quite a few major television shows, and he's on Tubi. Another prime example of somebody I work with that happened to be on Tubi was the Mexican actor Julio Cesar Cedillo. If you don't know that name, Google him. A very big A-list celebrity star. He was in a short film that I did years ago in Dallas. It was like 2022, 2023, somewhere around there. And we filmed it in a church in Fort Worth. It was about like a priest, like a Mexican telenovela saga drama. And Julio was the priest. I got a picture with Julio. When I Googled this man's portfolio to see the credits that he's done, this man was on major network television shows. He was on Chicago PD, Law and Order SVU. He also starred on that movie called Cowboys and Aliens. Let's see, what else was he on? He was also on Sicario and the Three Burials of Malquedes, a very big Hollywood actor. And I was in a short film with him all the way in Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, it just goes to show you, like, no matter what type of project you're on, whether if it's a short film, independent film, or a TV series, or a low-budget Tubi movie, you don't know who you're on the set with, and you don't know how big they are until you look them up. And I actually made friends with several Tubi actors that are in major network television streaming shows right now. One of them, who's based out of Houston, he's actually going to be my coach. His name is Ronson J. Hawkins. Look him up. Google him. Ronson is a Houston-based actor and a coach. And he's been in this business for a very, very long time. What am I saying? Ronson is the man. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ronson is the man with the plan. That boy or that man knows his stuff. When I say he knows his stuff, he's done the work. He has really worked on his craft as an artist and as an actor. And Ronson basically said that he has workshops now. If you want to learn to work on your craft as an up-and-coming actor and you want to get an agent and you need help, he can help you get an agent. That's how good Ronson is connected. Ronson's very connected. Besides the Tubi movies, Ronson has projects on Peacock TV, Hulu. Ronson's even starred on a TV series called Boots on Netflix, and I'm about to resubscribe on Netflix to watch that show because I want to see what it's about. I heard it's like a military show or something like that, like a military drama. I don't know if it's a comedy or what, or if it's just a drama, but I'm going to take a look at it. But yeah, Ronson is the man. Ronson's done DoorDash commercials. He's done AT&T commercials. He's done all types of commercials. Dairy Queen commercials. And the craziest part, y'all, is that this is a heavy-set man. He's not your average model type looking guy that has the body and, the look. When it comes to acting, your look is not as important. I'm going to tell you that right now, depending on what they're looking for. Most of these actors now that you see, they're scooping them off the streets. Now, I'm not saying Ronson's off the street because Ronson is a seasoned actor and a coach. He's been in this game for a very long time. He knows his stuff. But what I'm saying, these new age actors that y'all are seeing, especially the ones from Tubi, they off the street. Majority of them don't have professional knowledge of coaching or whatever. Majority of them are from the streets. But that's how you get your start. That's how you get your foot in the door. Sometimes it might take you a Tubi movie to get your foot in the door. Sometimes it might take you an independent film to get you through the door. It's very hard, especially in the entertainment industry, to really make it out here, especially if you're trying to make it to Hollywood. It's very hard. You got to build connections. You got to know somebody who knows somebody. You got to rub elbows with agents to see and hope you can get a role or get an audition for a role or a production. It's hard. It's very, very hard. One thing I will say though is that once you learn the who's connected, and once you learn how they are connected, you want to stick with them fast. Because I just saw Ronson's story on IG earlier tonight, and Ronson basically posted a video of himself talking, and he said he was having some type of a workshop sometime this weekend somewhere in Houston, and he goes to like random hotels and rents out like, you know, conference centers and shit. And one of his guest speakers is the guy from freaking what's that show called on HBO Max? He's been in a lot of shows, but I recognize the guy. He's a very popular hood actor. I just can't think of his name right now. I think his name was Daniel L.A. Watkins or some shit. Let me see. He was in a Notorious B.I.G. movie. I just can't think of what his name is. Notorious movie cast. He's a very good actor. He's been in the business for a minute. I just can't think of his name. Let's see here. What the hell is all this shit? I don't know what I clicked on. So, what's his name? Dennis L.A. White, not Watkins. I don't know why I said Watkins. So his name is Dennis L.A. White, a very, again, popular actor who's been around for a minute. So he was best known for playing D-Rock, the character in the Notorious B.I.G. movie that came out back in 2009. The main character that played Biggie, the rapper, was Jamal Woolard. Him and Jamal been on Tubi like this, like clockwork. When I say them dudes is making moves, they're making moves. And you have to think, as many hood movies as these people have made on Tubi, they both starred on a major motion picture film that was released in theaters and several TV shows, I might add. Like, they know their shit. But anyway, it just goes to show you, it's who you know, not what you know. And I know quite a bit of people in the entertainment industry who can get you there. That's why I'm working with Ronson now, because Ronson, he actually has a good special going on. Ronson has a deal where he has 4 sessions, private sessions, one-on-one sessions through Zoom to teach you different techniques, coach you on how to pass your auditions, how to work on your craft as an actor, and so forth. And he's only charging $100 for 4 sessions. A typical coaching session, especially if you're trying to get to Hollywood, yeah, good luck with that. You're talking anywhere between as little as $400 per session, That means $400 for that one little session you have with that coach, to like $1,000. It's very expensive. And that's why I tell people, you got to be patient when it comes to the acting game. You got to be patient, and you really, really have to work on your budget, because it gets expensive. When you want to work with the best people in the game, like Ronson, you're gonna pay. Now, again, he has a special for $100 for 4 sessions on Zoom. Ronson J. Hawkins, look him up. But anyway, yeah, this guy, Dennis L.A. White, that he has the conference coming up in Houston on the weekend, this guy has starred in a lot of big things. I'm talking MTV. He's been on several TV shows from HBO's 5 Rounds and Chat Zone, which I've never heard of. On his bio, it says in 2003, Dennis became the first African American host at Fuse Television. He began to host several TV shows: Weekend Vibe, HBO's 5 Rounds and Chat Zone, MTV's Hip Hop Life. Like, I don't know. I don't know why the people say 67. People are being weird. They're probably kids that need to be in bed, and they are being trolls, typing in random shit, trying to probably distract me. As you can see, I've clearly been ignoring the fuck out of them. I haven't addressed them, and it's working. I learned the hard way. When trolls come in, they start typing outlandish shit when my moderators are gone. I ignored the living fuck out of them. And I keep talking over them, and I keep talking about random shit because like they don't exist. And then I hide their comments. Or I just kick them out and put them in timeout. Because I'm just like, when you type garbage and you type hoopla and you try to distract me, I'm just going to hide you or block you. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to keep running my mouth. But yeah, all I'm saying is, y'all, just if you have, again, back to the topic, I got totally off topic after I was talking about healing. If you have some type of isolation or some type of estranged relationship, and if it's for a good reason, like your family did something bad to you, like you were touched on, molested, whatever. If it's something of that nature, yes, stay the fuck away from them. But if they didn't do anything bad to you and you're just so isolated because you became the black sheep because nobody really talks to you, like me, for example, and now that I move miles and miles away, nobody really fucks with me. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person. That's the moral of the story. Be the bigger person and heal, or try to attempt to heal those broken relationships you may have, whether if it's a family member or a friend, because life is short. Again, like I told y'all, ever since my friend passed away over here, I've been looking left and right, to the left of me and the right of me. I don't have very many friends out here. I am all alone. I don't have anyone to really cope with anymore. I don't have anyone to talk to on the phone late at night anymore like I did with my friend. I don't have anyone. But what I will say is that I do have a support group. I have friends back home in Texas that talk to me on and off, that I can actually pick up the phone with, and talk with them late at night or whatever. But here, physically, in this state, no, I don't have anybody but the people I work with. That's it. And a couple of military friends around the world, of course. One thing I will say, too, I'll mention, there's a big damn difference between military families and regular civilian families. Military families will drop everything and come through and be right by your side. Literally, they will drop everything, come through, and be right by your side. And they will pick up the phone, don't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, don't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, they will talk to you. And they will keep a relationship no matter how long it's been, no matter how long you've been separated from each other since military life. Friends are like family. They're like forever. They're your forever friends. I'm so serious. The camaraderie is so strong. It's hard to explain to a regular civilian from the streets why it's so different for us. But the regular folks on the streets don't understand where we come from. So of course, they're not gonna give you the same output or the same result unless they're practically like family and they've been knowing you for years and they gain your trust or something. Then yeah, they might, go out their way and do whatever. Somebody said, I watch sad music to get better. My best friend died. I'm so sorry to hear that, Rebecca. I send my dearest condolences to you. It sounds just like me. My best friend died too. And I have nobody, again, out here. It sucks. I feel your pain. But All I can say is that all we can do is pray about it. Um, if you need to seek some type of therapy or someone to talk to, I would highly suggest to go through some type of grief counseling, and speak with somebody. Definitely talk to a professional. Because one thing I'm going to tell you, what I learned, baby, your family is not going to help you get through this. Majority of the time, your family is not going to listen to what you got to say when you're in a time of grief. They're not going to be your counselors. You literally have to seek a professional counselor to get the help you need. Your family is not counselors. They are not counselors. No. I learned the hard way quickly. When I tried to talk to somebody about somebody I lost near and dear to me, nobody gave a fuck. Really fast. And I saw it and I left them alone. When I saw that nobody wanted to talk to me and nobody wanted to hear what I had to say, and I was crying my eyes out, I left them alone and I let peace be still and let go and let God. One of the songs, I used to watch his name, TX2 on YouTube. Oh, okay, wow, damn. Sorry to hear that. It's a rough time for everybody. One thing I will say is that I don't know if it's just fall season or if it's just the month of October, but October is a very bad month, I'm convinced. A lot of things have happened in October. I'm gonna give you some examples. So for me, personally, my family, my grandparents both are deceased. They've been gone for years now. But the funny thing, what's ironic about their passings is that they both passed in the same month of October, but years apart from each other. My grandfather passed from a heart attack when he was in his 60s, back in 2003 when I was in middle school. I'll never forget it. And a few years down the road, my grandmother got very sick. She ended up getting on hospice because she smoked all her life. She ended up getting some type of a brain cancer. And when God took her home, she passed in October of 2013. That is like 10 years apart of each other. Both my grandparents are passed, but the same month, different years, 10 years apart. Same thing with my best friend. Her mother passed away October of 2023. Then she passed away October of 2025. It's like, what the fuck is going on out here, you know? That's why I said October is just a bad month. I have a feeling that as the holidays progress and they get closer, it seems like more and more death is around the corner. Why? I don't know. It's crazy. I tried to not let my sadness out, but it was hard. I tried to play football. It's okay, girl. I get it. I know it's hard. It's rough. It's painful. One thing I will suggest, though, to help you, what kind of helped me cope with my best friend's loss, try to find some type of peace by doing something positive for yourself. Sometimes, whenever I get ready to go to sleep, I pop on meditation music on my Spotify app, and it helps me sleep. Surprisingly, I have very severe insomnia. I don't sleep. I'm always up. And by the time I do lay the hell down, it's down near 3 a.m. And I find something relaxing to calm my nerves, like meditation music. And if it's not meditation, I take a walk in the park to help myself cope through, all the things I'm going through. Oh, you do football? That's good. Play football. I mean, whatever you like to do to keep your mind mentally away from, grieving from like the loss of your best friend. Yes, it's going to help you. So yeah, you like to play football? Keep playing football. If you like video games, play video games. Any type of activity that's going to mentally make you think or mentally strain you or mentally exhaust you, that's what you want. You want something to keep you busy. You want something to keep you occupied. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be fancy. I mean, it could be as little as walking in the park like I do. Sometimes, if the weather is good, right now it's too cold, I walk in the park. And if I don't walk in the park, I go to the gym. I haven't been in the gym in a few weeks now. It's been a while. I actually was on a journey to doing this gym fitness challenge, but ever since this happened, I ain't thinking about no damn gym. I have no motivation whatsoever. I'm still coping with grief. One of the TX2 name is the Rain is his newest one. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what TX2 is, but that's cool. That's awesome. But yeah, I learned quickly the best coping mechanisms, honestly, for me, is to keep myself occupied, whether that's reading a book, doing homework like what I'm doing now, since I don't sleep anyway, trying to catch up on chapters I fell behind on, and coloring. I'm gonna tell you the best mental mechanism is coloring. Why? Because coloring distracts the mind. Coloring relaxes your brain cells, believe it or not. It's a scientific activity. Let me see what Google says, because AI will tell you what coloring does to your brain cells. Let's see. What does coloring do? What does coloring do for the brain? See, AI is listening to me. I didn't even type the whole sentence. What does coloring do for the brain? Coloring benefits the brain by promoting relaxation, reducing stress and anxiety, improving focus and fine motor skills, and fostering a meditative state. It activates the brain's reward centers, releasing dopamine to create feelings of pleasure, and can even help improve memory and cognitive function, especially in older adults. That's the benefits of coloring and why it's so important for your mental. In case you didn't know, now you know. He made emo songs. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's really neat. I never been into emo or nothing like that, but I've heard of emo. It seems interesting. According to AI for stress management or stress reduction, it says it calms the mind with coloring. The simple act of coloring can have a calming effect, similar to meditation, by quieting the mind and taking your focus away from worries and negative thoughts. It lowers physiological stress. Coloring can lead to a decrease in heart rate, respiration, and feelings of anxiety and depression. It activates reward centers. The activity triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and relaxation. The cognitive and mental enhancement says it improves focus. Coloring requires concentration on the present moment and details, which can improve attention and focus over time. It boosts your motor skills. It aids memory and cognition. It encourages a flow state where you become fully absorbed in the activity and you lose track of time. It makes your mind wander. You know what I mean? It makes you flow away and think of happy things and happy places. His girlfriend broke up with him. That's why he made emo songs. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Wow, that's interesting. Well, that sucks. Let's see. What else stimulates creativity? Let's see. I'm curious now. I'm bored. Let's see what AI says. What other activities relieve stress? Calming activities. Let's see what AI says. So according to AI, it says calming activities include mindfulness practices like meditation and deep breathing, physical activities such as yoga and walking, and sensory experiences like listening to music, taking a warm bath, or enjoying a favorite scent. It's very true. If I ever get a chance to get a tub again, because I don't have a tub, unfortunately, I just have a stand-up shower, I would definitely soak my ass in that tub and put on some relaxing, calming music. Other options involve engaging in hobbies like reading or puzzles, spending time in nature, or simply taking a break to watch the clouds or cuddle a pet. For mindfulness and relaxation, it lists other things such as deep breathing, meditation, of course, what we talked about earlier, visualization. I can't even talk. You imagine yourself in a peaceful, safe place. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tense and then release different muscle groups in your body, which I've never heard of, but that's a different method of relaxing or calming your body. Wait, I have an idea. You can watch shows. I tried all of those. Okay, yeah, that too. Watching shows does dwindle your mind. It does make your mind wander. I've watched plenty of shows. When my friend first passed away, that first weekend, I spent the night when I had idle thoughts and I was not in my right mind with one of my friends from work. And me and her had a good time. We got lit, we drank, we talked, I cried, and I fell asleep. Then I watched shows with her. I watched all types of movies with her until I felt better, until I felt like I was okay to go home. And I spent about a good 2 days with her. I was all up in that woman's house. And that woman got kids. And she a single mom. And she was nice enough to allow me to come and vent and cry my eyes out about my friend. But yeah, it helps. Now, drinking, I don't know. Drinking might help you a little bit depending on how your tolerance is. I probably would not suggest it when it comes to coping with grief and anger and depression or whatever, or frustration. I would say when it comes to grief, try to do more positive things outside of alcohol. Because alcohol can make you flip a switch depending on your body. Sometimes people who drink a lot, like me, for example, they can flip a switch and go way left and get way worse, and not realize what they're doing. Some people are angry drunks. Some people are depressive drunks. I've seen it all. And I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of people who cannot handle their alcohol or their liquor. I've seen it. Me, on the other hand, I have a very high tolerance. I've been drinking for quite some time, since my 20s. Am I an alcoholic? Hell no. I drink in moderation. That's the difference with me. On the weekends, I might have a beer, like a wine cooler, for example. I have what's called a cider. I sip on these from time to time. Do I drink them every day? No. But sometimes when I want to unwind and I want to feel good and not get super drunk, I will sip on a cider before I sip on anything crazy. Now, on top of my cabinet, right next to my sink, I got a big ass bottle of Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier is French for a very fancy, kind of like a rum, but kind of like a cognac. It's more like a cognac than a rum. Now, that shit is strong. I barely sip on that. The only time I'll sip on that is if I'm in a good mood and it's the weekend and I want to feel a little, tipsy, But when I'm sad and I have crazy thoughts going on and I'm not feeling my best, I don't want none of it. The only thing that I want is peace and quiet. Most of the time, if I want to feel good and I'm feeling good, I drink on a cider. It's similar to like a beer. It's not a whole bunch of alcohol content. But it makes me feel relaxed. I just like to unwind and relax. I don't like to get super drunk to where I don't know where the hell I'm at. The very last time I did that, oh God, was my birthday. Because I was celebrating. Unless I'm celebrating something and I'm out and about and it's social with friends, I don't get drunk at home. I'm at home. Like, I just like to feel good. I like to relax. But I was drinking responsibly. Don't get it twisted. I had an Uber XL and everything. Me and my homegirls, we all had an Uber XL and we got home safely. So yeah, don't get it twisted. I am not the type that parties 24/7 and gets drunk in social spaces to where I'm passed the fuck out. Like, no, you will never see me do that. If you do see me on the video having fun and celebrating, it's for an occasion and it's a special occasion. It's either my birthday or it's a holiday. One of the two. If it's neither one of those, you ain't gonna catch me doing nothing else. Mm-mm. Unless I'm at karaoke. If I'm at a karaoke bar or something, I might have a few drinks. But even then, I don't get plastered at a karaoke bar. Like, no, it's stupid. But anyway, yeah. And that's good that you don't drink. That's good. Not everybody can. Some people can't, like I said, can't handle it, or some people just don't care for the taste of alcohol. I've seen it that way too. There was actually a young black woman who was a plus one with one of my coworker friends. She didn't drink. Prime example, she only had like one virgin martini or some shit like that. I can't remember what she ordered, but she said that she was not a big drinker. She never drank. And I was shocked because I was just like, damn, she's young and she don't drink? What? I was just like, damn. I guess not everybody's really into the whole alcohol thing. It's very rare to see a very young person who's in their 30s that does not drink, that does not care for the taste of alcohol. She says she doesn't like the way it tastes. Some people are just weird like that. They don't like the way it tastes. I don't know. Me, on the other hand, give me all the drinks. I am a sinner. Call me what you want. But one thing I will say and throw it back at you is that Jesus drank wine, so why can't I? That's one thing I will say. Jesus drank wine, so why can't I? I don't see the problem or the harm in it. But yeah, I feel like as long as you are responsible and you have control, that's the key word, responsible and control, then yes, go ahead, have at it. And as long as you're in a safe space, then yes, I say go for it. And if you're celebrating, yes, go ahead. But yeah, one thing about me, when I'm sad and feeling bad and feeling depressed, you ain't gonna catch me drinking shit. Mm-mm. I was actually sober for a cool 2 or 3 weeks after my friend passed. This is actually the first drop of alcohol content I've had since my friend passed, actually. It's been about a cool 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, I've actually went cold turkey without drinking for 90 days one time. I did it for a fitness deal. I was trying to drop weight and I was challenging myself, and I didn't drink for a cool 90 days. I was sober for a very long time. And then after that, after I met my little fitness goal, I drink. Watch The Rain by TX2, but if you watch, be careful, there's kids that watch isn't kid friendly. Oh, I don't have kids. I live alone, I told you. I ain't got problems with that. So I can watch wherever the hell I want to watch here at any time. It's just me, myself, and I. Just me, myself, and I. But anywho, it was nice talking with you guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. I've been on here for well over an hour. This is probably about the longest live you're going to see from me for a very long time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live. If you catch the replay, I appreciate you. Appreciate the love. I'm going to go now, but I will talk to y'all next time. Y'all have a good night. Peace.